Merry meet Annie here. This week's topic for the YouTube Pagan Challenge is our view on sacred texts and mythology. My view on both of them? Collective wisdom. Shall I stop the video now? Make that be the end of my video? There aren't specific sacred texts which inform my practice or my spiritual beliefs. But countless, endless, some I can remember now, give credit to, some I can't, texts and tales and stories and histories and poetry. Endless words have danced through my life in some way, inspiring me. Inspiring me to think of something new. Inspiring me to think I wouldn't define my beliefs or my practices in that way. Learning from the words of others, the wisdom of others, is often appreciating that wisdom and learning from it. But sometimes the learning has been the way I come to a personal disagreement with something I read. I have been a voracious reader all of my life. I was the kind of kid that came home from school, took a book into a quiet corner. 3/4 of the year it was outside under a tree or up in a tree, my favorite place to read, and read. And let those books take me places. Well, it's true, when I was very young, it was an escape, because I needed to escape aspects of my childhood. I also was being taken to places to explore. Taken places where others who'd gone before had something to say, had something to share. Sacred texts, to me, would be everything I've read that ever moved me, in agreement or disagreement, or to new insights and inspiration the entire length of my life. That's what a sacred text would be to me. Now, you might think, because, I'm also Wiccan, that maybe it would be something like the Charge of the Goddess, but that didn't exist when I was first studying and being initiated into a Wiccan coven. Oh, I liked it when it came along, do not get me wrong. It seemed a fine, as she intended, a fine summary of who we are and what we did and why we did it. And I've certainly used it as a teaching tool, and I also use it myself in ritual to recite. Wise words, words of instruction, words of what Goddess expects from us, and also what she will give us in return. Sacred texts, powerful words, I'd say. I don't know that there's any specific sacred texts. Something like the Bible or the Quran or something like that, that would have been an influencer on me. But to me, all words, spoken and written, are sacred. Both when we are the ones who make an offering of those words, and when we become one with the words that someone else has shared, spoken or in writing. Sacred text and mythology. The exploration of the beliefs of others when I first started to explore alternate religions. And then to find that the words of some others echoed feelings I was having, experiences I was having. Sacred text. Not a particular sacred text, but the beauty of a poem, the lyrics in a song, the understanding of the human vulnerabilities and strengths behind the stories of gods and goddesses throughout all history. Sacred words. Simplistic for me. There's no particular set of words that I would declare my sacred text. But words and the wisdom behind them, and especially the collective wisdom behind them, Whether I can now acknowledge the specifics, reference, a quotation, or a source, or it has influenced me in some way that its influence lives on long after I've read it or heard it. Sacred text and mythology. The sacredness of words and the stories we tell and the wisdom they represent. Mary Part.